Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you had a great week. And for some of you, happy weekend already. And in this video, we'll do a full update on the markets. All right, we'll focus a little bit on Bitcoin. We'll talk about news. We got some news about 2 hours ago. And apart from that, I mean, it's a relatively, like in general terms, right now, the market is still in summer mode. All right, there's not a lot of volatility. If we look at the technical structure for Bitcoin, and most of the market is correlating with Bitcoin, even though it's a bit more volatile at times. But Bitcoin is ranging, all right? So ultimately, we're waiting for a breakout. We'll talk about whether that's possible. I'll probably call this video Bitcoin crash incoming or something, or crypto crash incoming, because I do think we need to talk about that as well. Because September, if you don't know, is historically very bearish, all right? So if we then look at the market circumstances right now, and you look at this, you'd say, well, this is not bearish. We're just neutral. We're just consolidating. And that's correct. However, I do think, like, if you purely technically look at the situation right here, we're in this area right here, right? So we're in this range. Between $57,000 and $62,000, but at this point of time, there's not a lot of bullish momentum. The market actually feels quite bearish, feels quite weak. Now that can change, and ultimately I'm still more bullish than bearish, but I do think you should just in general have an alert at 57,000, because if that breaks, I wouldn't say hell breaks loose, but that would be very bearish, all right? And then it's quite likely we're going lower, and then we can also go lower than what we did earlier at 50,000, all right? So I think you need to be prepared for the crash. Do I think a crash is coming right now? No, not necessarily. The open interest went down quite a bit with the bearish momentum over the course of last week. So the market is not over leveraged, even though, I mean, you could still say that the open interest is very high. So maybe you have a different opinion on that. But there's not a ton of major leverage in the markets. The fundamentals behind the market are also not too bad. Today, I mean, if you look at the general markets, what you see is that the dollar strength index is bouncing a bit here. That's bearish. But outside of that, dollar bond yields still very low. Russell 2000, all the asset markets relatively bullish still, or at least stable. It's just that at this point of time, look, the Bitcoin dominance is still very strong. Bitcoin itself is not bullish, right? So we're just chopping, which means that, especially with that Bitcoin dominance, altcoins are following Bitcoin, but they are more bearish when Bitcoin is falling, and they're less bullish when Bitcoin is bullish. So we're waiting for the ideal moment to get back into the markets. I would say it's not now. For me, the ideal breakout is a breakout above 61,000. Yesterday we had some momentum. Yesterday I said I think it's likely we're going up there. Right now, ultimately I think the range will hold. So I would just expect movement in this range. But short term, I would even go as far as saying that it looks likely that we'll drop down here. Now, for now, I think we'll hold this level. So I don't think there's reason to be panicking. But like I said, the moment we break down below 57,000 for whatever reason, right? Could be unrest in the Middle East as well. We will be bearish. So keep your eyes on that. This is what I expect for now. When we look at altcoins, like I said, I mean, most altcoins right now are just correlated to Bitcoin. There's some coins like Aave and BNB that are holding up relatively well. Like if you look at BNB right here, this is the 4-hour time frame. We're just consolidating. And if BNB is able to get a breakout above 550, then I do think it's a relatively good buy, right? So something like this, and we break above that. I do think you can make some money on that, but you need to wait for the breakout then. At this point of time, I don't think there's anything. And then you have something like Aave that's holding its support level relatively well as well, but it's also compressing here, and that could go both ways. So I don't really see a lot of altcoins that I think are interesting. My trading view is also lagging a lot right now. Sun, the coin by Justin Sun, of course, also relatively interesting. Got a bit of a bullish breakout here, but that's a scam coin, so be careful with that. And then apart from that, there's not a ton of alerts either. So market is relatively quiet today. It looks relatively bearish here. Do I think we will have a bearish breakout, a crash? No. Should you be prepared for it? Yes. But ultimately, I think, especially in the weekend and the start of next week, I think then we'll have some more serious moves. And then September, we will at least, even if we're bearish, we will at least have some normal volume back. Those are my thoughts. That's all the thing you need to know. For now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.